Hi guys, and welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So today's reading is your January 2015 general monthly reading, and this is for the zodiac sign of Leo. Sorry, I can't get my words out today. Okay, Leo, there are so many explanations that I could come up with for your reading this for January. It's just a really interesting reading. But I think the gist of this reading is about kind of assessing where you are in life, and for some of you guys deciding almost on starting again. That's the general kind of idea that I've got. That's kind of just the sort of outline of an idea that I've got. But within that outline, what fills it up are so many different things. I'm looking at a couple of cards here, and I'm seeing that some of you guys have the world at your fingertips, or you have the representation of what seems complete or what seems good. Excuse me. But for some of you guys, you're feeling trapped within that kind of representation. Maybe because people want to keep you there. Maybe because people have certain expectations of you, and you're not feeling that it's who you are, and that, you know, you're feeling during January that if you kind of move away from something, that you'd be letting someone down, or family down, or, you know, a situation down. But I certainly get a feeling that some of you are feeling, I mean, look, for some of you guys, it could be that you've got a lot of good stuff going on, and you've just come to this reading to see whether there's going to be, if it's going to get any better. And it could be for some of you guys with the World card, because I'll show you the first two cards. They're completely sort of different odds of the spectrum. We have the World card and the Devil. The World card really talks about completion, about a state of, this is like one of the best cards, if not the best card within the tarot, because it's everything coming full circle. It's kind of like having your heart's desires realised. It's, you know, it's everything you could wish for. You've got, the world is your oyster. Things are, you know, the going's good. Things have never looked so good. But then we've got the Devil card, which suggests that, you know, you could be feeling trapped to something, or bound to something, or there could be something that feels so good, but you know it's not that good. And you've got your drawbacks and your reservations about it. So I think looking at these two cards, for some of you Leos, it could be that there's a situation going on where things are meant to be completely rounded. Things are meant to feel complete. Things are meant to feel like really, really good. So why aren't you feeling good? You know, where is the drawback with this? It could be for some of you guys that you've got everything. You've got that family life. You've got that stability. You've got that really good job. You've got, you know, you've got everything in your favour. But you're tempted with something else. There's a temptation for something or something else. And you kind of want to go there. But then this is standing in the way, this completion, this happiness. And you don't really want to rock the boat, but you're tempted by something else. Yeah, you're tempted to go into something else, with potentially with someone else. So for some of you guys, it could be that you're in a relationship that's really good, potentially married. But there's the temptation that you want to sort of, you know, have a bit of fun with someone else. You know that really it's not a good idea, but the temptation is so strong and it feels so good. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. And this was more telling as well, the Five of Cups. The Page of Pentacles, this kid is really a student. They're an apprentice, okay? They're kind of just starting out a lot of the time financially. And this can herald the birth of something new coming up, you know, the birth of a new path financially. But it's a slow and steady start. It's something that's going to take time to get going. So maybe this is the guy. Maybe this is the person that some of you are hankering after. Some of you Leos. Maybe there's, you know, maybe there's a temptation to get with someone who's younger than you, you know. But it's not a good idea, because there's a lot of loss around that. Potentially some of you guys have already experienced a situation where you've left something that was good, or looked good on the outside, that seemed complete, but you were tempted to go somewhere else with someone else. And potentially for some of you guys, you've got involved with someone who's younger, or if they're not younger, they've got a young, fresh approach about them. but it didn't really go anywhere because it was just going too slow. And there's been some loss around that, you know. On the other hand, this could be a work situation, for example, that some of you guys have got everything within a job, you know, with the World card. Everything's going really, really good, but a part of you wants to, it's not standing within your truth. A part of you feels trapped and bound by it. You feel kind of, this isn't me, I don't really want to be doing this, but the money is so good. But this isn't my true passion, this isn't really my true ambition, and I really want to be going this other way, you know, I want to be doing something else. And it could be that, you know, it ends, the job ends. There's loss over it, loss over the money, but then you start something else up. And it's a slow and steady start with that. We've also got the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. Okay. And the Queen of Pentacles is basically a very nurturing, motherly type of woman, you know. She's really sensible, she gives good advice, you can always rely on her to sort of help you out if you need to talk to someone. So potentially some of you guys are speaking to someone about this situation, whether it's work, whether it's love, whatever this situation pertains to. You're speaking to someone, you're getting advice. Potentially it could be a mother, it could be a motherly figure, it could be someone who has these energies about them, potentially a friend, whatever. But this card can also talk about too much anxiety over money. So potentially for some of you guys, if it is a job that you're considering walking out on and you're worried about losing the cash on that job, or losing the, you know, the certain sense of stability that you get with the World card, because you just want to take that risk and sort of go the other way with something. And it could be that potentially whatever it is in January that potentially some of you guys will go that way with, or have already gone that way with, that there's some anxiety around that. Okay? But your extremes of energy are kind of, but I want to do it. I really have this ambition to do this thing. It's not going to earn me as much. But at the same time, should I stay in the tried and tested? And with the Knight of Wands, we do have those extremes of, not those particular extremes of energy, but this is a card about extremes of energy, but it's also about embracing your passions, you know, embracing your passionate side with stuff. And the Knight of Wands is kind of bipolar character, you know, he's got two kind of sides to him. So it could be that you need to embrace the side that's a little bit more reckless and a little bit more kind of Jack the Lad type of thing, kind of, you know, I'm just going to go out and do it, and I'm kind of, you know, I've got this bravado and I've got this swag about me, and I'm just going to go and do it, you know, I'm just going to embrace that passionate side of myself. On the other hand, this Knight of Wands could be the person who potentially you're drawn to. The Knight of Wands is very kind of vivacious, he's but he can't be underestimated, because he's the type of bloke that will tell you what you want to know, but really underneath all of it, he's a seducer. He's the type of bloke that kind of likes the idea of love, you know, he kind of likes the idea, he likes the thrill of the chase. But when you get him, and when he's got you, he kind of cools off because he doesn't like being possessed. So potentially, maybe this World card is that things are quite settled, things are quite rounded for some of you guys. We've got the temptation going on there with the Devil card of wanting something else. We've got the Page of Pentacles, something new, but it's slow and steady. Okay, it's time to progress. Maybe there's some feeling of regret about walking away from what was complete in the beginning, and then suddenly going into something with this Knight of Wands potentially, who turned out not to be what you thought he was. There's all sorts of explanations for this reading, I'm afraid. You'll need to kind of, you know, I'm throwing things out there because these are the general ideas that I'm getting for this reading. There are so many things that this could be. I think it could be love, and then it could be a career, yeah? Could be anything, but there's certainly a sense of wanting potentially to, of feeling that you're kind of bound up into something that looks perfect, or people are kind of have expectations of you and wanting to go another way because you are feeling kind of like a little bit burdened or trapped in something that isn't really you. Whether that's a love situation, who knows, but just let me know in a comment when you get the reading. And then the final cards are the Empress and the Seven of Pentacles. So this situation for you guys, I believe, in January is going to work itself out. Because the Empress, again, is like the Queen of Pentacles in a way, even though she's kind of more a kind of Earth Mother type figure, I would say, whereas the Queen of Pentacles is certainly much more of a kind of mother, if you see where I'm coming from. She's more sort of the airy fairy type, you know, you kind of, she could be a fairy or something, you know, or a hippie, you know, she could live in a hippie commune or something like that. She's all about free love and nurturing and creativity and all of that good stuff. She's also a very, very fertile character. Okay, so whereas the Queen of Pentacles potentially already has all her kids, the Empress just gets pregnant all the time, you know. There's loads more kids to come. This is about birth, about renewal, about building something up, about nurturing something, about tending to your crops. So I certainly think that with the Empress cards, guys, this is a situation where you're going to be needing to rebuild yourselves again, okay? You're going to be needing to kind of rebuild something again in January. This can be to do also with moving home. So as I said, it's about rebuilding. Potentially you guys are moving on to something else, you know. Potentially for some of you guys who may have ended something, or, you know, gone and done something, you know, gone and pursued your temptation. It means sort of moving out to off an old way of life into something new, where you're going to need to create something again. And this would really tie in, I think, with the Seven of Pentacles, where again this is a card all about building something, okay? A lot of the time with the Seven of Pentacles, it's about, if you want to achieve something, you've got to work hard for it. This is a card about effort. For some people, they've already built something, but there's more to go. They're only sort of halfway there. This little piece of greenery here, it has Seven Pentacles on it, obviously, but it's only like halfway there or a little bit there, and the guy's looking at it thinking there's a long way to go with this. There's a lot more. I'm proud of what I've already done, but there's a lot more to achieve. So I certainly think that this, by the end of January, is going to be stepping into an energy of saying, you know, or whatever time in January, this is a time now of me kind of rebuilding myself again, creating something again, perhaps building on lessons I've learned. But it's a very kind of fertile energy to me with both of these cards, really. It's about newness and birth of stuff and kind of nurturing stuff. You know, these two cards very much represent to me nurturing stuff, so helping it to grow. And I certainly feel that you guys, some of you guys, will be helping something to grow again, you know. This is a really interesting reading, Leo, really interesting. There's so many things that this could actually be, but I think from the start, right from the start to the end, it tells a story, whatever story that is. And that is with the, you know, with the World card, there is an air of something looking good on the outside. There is an air of maybe some form of completion within something. So whether that be in a relationship that, you know, that is meant to be complete, but then with some of you guys, I believe that there isn't that much completion there, because there is temptation there to do something else or go somewhere else and potentially get involved with someone else, or the potential to do something else in terms of work or whatever that is. Or, you know, if you know, there is a sense of, with these two cards, I believe with the Devil and the World card, that you don't really feel that your world is complete, and that you want more of something, you know. And then your Page of Pentacles, something that is slow and steady progress with that, you know. A little bit of worry going on there with something. And then the Five of Cups, loss of something, but feeling regret about it almost, you know. But then with the Queen of Pentacles, there's that nurturing figure there. So potentially that's someone who's acting as an advisor to you, someone who has those traits about them. Or potentially it could be anxiety over something. And then the Knight of Wands, again, the extremes of energy. Where do you put your energy? You know, do you put it into positive or negative vibe, you know? Do you embrace your passions or what it is that you want to go for, or do you hold back? Or the Knight of Wands can be the person who potentially you're attracted to, but they're not really that good for you because they are not what you thought they were, you know? You thought that they were kind of solid or reliable, but potentially they're just turning out to be kind of like a wide boy or a wide girl, and they're kind of, you know, they're all about the gift of the gab, and they're all about the seduction thing. they enjoy the thrill of the chase, but when they get you, they don't really want to stick there. And then the Empress and the Seven of Pentacles, all about coming to that realisation that you're going to need to create something for yourself again. You're going to need to kind of nurture something from the bottom up and work hard to build something up again. So that's a really interesting reading. I really love doing these readings because there's so much investigation and looking at the cards to work out what potentially could be the general energy again around some of you guys in a month. But I think in January, perhaps I think this is a situation going on from now. There are those energies around that, and I think that's very, very interesting, Leo. But it all turns out very, very well and very good in January. Very good. I'd like to say thank you so much, guys, for joining me on this reading. I will be back with your February 2015 reading. It's going to be coming up very soon on the channel because I haven't been able to put out these monthly readings in December, the earlier part of December, because I was doing all the year ahead readings. But I'll be back with those just to say thanks very, very soon. So I'd like to say thank you so much for your time, guys, and have a great new year. Take care.